Hello, my Teaser King family. Teaser King here, the professor, as we call myself, as I'm called by many of you. Um, let's just get a general thing. What a week I had in the pros. 13 and 0. 13 and 0. And I probably was more because I didn't play everything I wanted to play. Had a nice email. One of my customers went 8-0 and had a big week, and he thanked me. And that's why I do it, because this guy can go 8-0 and make a lot of money, and that made me feel great. That's what I'm here for. I'm really here for you guys. I sell my picks because I would like to make some money on it. As the Joker said, why do it for free if you can make money for it? He meant killing Batman in the second Batman movie, but I want to make some money on my skill set. But basically, just a huge week. And it all starts, like, Thanksgiving started bad with the what was it, Dallas losing to Oakland. How the hell could Dallas lose to Oakland? And then Ohio State loses to Michigan. And it was just, that's what happens. And then this Thursday, what happened? Pitt's down 20-0 to Minnie, getting 9.5, and boom, they come back and lose by 8. We get a W. That's what it takes. All of a sudden, you get on a run. And I'm telling you, I told you about that year. I was 35-5 in my locks. I would hit 5 locks a week. I would find 5 locks a week to hit, and then I would hit them all, and they would all do what they were supposed to do. And ended up 35-5 run of my locks. When Carolina lost the Super Bowl, and I locked them 4 or 5 times. So I'm very good at finding the team, finding the situation, watching Vegas fail at getting it, and then getting the lock. Thomas, hi Thomas. PFF Pro Football Focus has it's one of their highest rated quarterbacks this season. Do you agree? No, I don't. I think he has looked pretty good. He's very accurate when he's under pressure. Well, I've never said he's not an accurate quarterback. The thing I don't like about him is that he throws all these 5-yard passes. So, of course, his percentage is 80%, but they're all 5-yard passes. Once in a while, he hits the tight end. Put it this way: there's Joe Burrow and there's Justin Herbert. They're fine. They throw 30-yard passes. They win game. Look at Burrow. He should have won the game, but he ties the game up hitting Chase at the end. How often do you see Tagliabue do it in a big game? Never. In college, they played LSU. I think he had like 5 completions in the game, and LSU buried him. In the big games, he doesn't come through. He throws a lot of short passes. The fact he's accurate, I never said he wasn't, but he's not a winner. And that's just how I feel about him until he proves me wrong. Now, if he starts throwing like Justin Herbert, 20-yard passes, starts getting a lot of points, starts winning games when they're down, like Aaron Rodgers, like a Brady, then I'm fine. Look at Brady. He takes them down and wins in overtime. When has Tagliabue ever done that and ever going to do that? He's not. That's why I get on Lawrence. That's why I get on Tagliabue. That's why I get on Hurts. They're never going to do that. They want to run the ball around. Thanks for the quick. Sure, Tom. I'm reading these as I go, so I can think and I can walk and chew gum at the same time. But if they'll say Trevor Lawrence is good and show me where he's any good. I mean, he throws 4 interceptions. They happen, but he just doesn't look good. These guys that want to run, Tagliabue, it was a system at Alabama. You had all these fast guys running down the field, open, and he's hitting them for a 10-yard pass, and they're running 80 yards. And that's why he did it. And then he got the reason I'm so negative against New Mexico State and Texas State and Arkansas State, and he'd put up 50, 60 points against these weak teams. And then all of a sudden he'd play a Georgia, a Florida, an LSU, and Auburn, and he wouldn't show up. And that's why I'm against them. And him and Trevor Lawrence never showed up against Ohio State. Fields, again, that's an Ohio State thing. where he just doesn't know how to play quarterback. I mean, this isn't Ohio State. He's not playing Purdue, and he doesn't know how to play quarterback. No Ohio State quarterback knows how to play quarterback. It's just because that's the system. They're going to run. They got great runners, and they got much better players at Ohio State than they do on their pro teams. And so he can hand it off. He just looks at the defense, or he throws these passes to Olave or somebody or tight ends. And that's what you have. And that's why I'm not high on Ohio State quarterbacks. They don't do it. You've had Barrett and all these quarterbacks throughout the years who have thrown 50 touchdown passes and 3 picks, getting to the pros. They can't do a thing. So why would Fields be any different? So I'm just saying what I like is these quarterback, the kid from Nevada, the kid from Fresno State. He's doing it with a pro offense, style offense, and they, Strong from Nevada is great. He's probably the highest rated quarterback. The kid from Coastal Carolina, Grayson, the kid from Western Kentucky, I think his name's Zombie or Zumbi or something. Those are the guys that I really like because they're in the offense and they're pushing the ball down the field. Let me get back to the pros, and then if there's any questions, please feel free to ask questions. This is a class. You ask, I'll answer. So I start off with Pitt getting 9. Then I got Kansas City laying 9.5 to Oakland. They had won 7 out of the last 8. They're not a great home favorite. Oakland's not a great road dog. Boom, Kansas City lights them up. They've been lighting up Oakland, so it wasn't a surprise. New Orleans, 4.5 goes to 6 against the Jets when Kamara plays. If Kamara plays, we take New Orleans. I had New Orleans, and I had the under. There you go. And that's not even one of my plays, but I picked them under because the Jets have no quarterback, and they're not going to score. New Orleans has a good defense, and they don't have a quarterback. You're going to run Kamara, and the Jets don't have anything. So when the teams don't have quarterbacks, you play the game under because how are they going to score? Brady will score for you, but not these guys. Frisco, Cincy, again, why was Frisco the favorite in this game? That ended at 2.5. I had Cincinnati in 8, and they got down a little, but as soon as they were down 7, I felt very comfortable, and then they tie it up at the end, and they should have won in overtime. I hate these overtime rules. First team wins. That's it. Why do Cincinnati scores a field goal? Why does Frisco get the ball? You've had the chance playing defense to stop them. You didn't. Why are you rewarded for letting them kick because it was only a field goal and not a touchdown? It's the stupidest overtime I've ever seen in my life. I hate it. It's as bad as hockey's where we'll do penalty shot. You know what? The game can end in a tie. It's okay. So I hate the overtime, but Cincy, why were they the dog at home? Burrow was healthy. I saw he had a finger problem, but he had said it was fine. He was probable. The line really never jumped, and that was very easy pick. Jacksonville, Tennessee. I had Tennessee. I waited. Julio Jones said, I'm playing. I bet Tennessee laying 8.5. The line never moved, which I didn't understand. And that was an easy one. And I'm betting Tennessee had won the last 4, and we're betting against Jacksonville. And there you go. Cleveland, Baltimore. I like the dog. I didn't know Jackson was going to get hurt. He certainly didn't know the backup quarterback was any good. He was from UCLA. So he was good at UCLA, but I didn't think he was that good in the pros. Cleveland jumps out. I had the game under 42, so I was under 48. It goes to 44. It ends at 46, so the under is good. And Baltimore as a live dog was good. I had Baltimore as the 3-point favorite. It went 3 points for Cleveland. Jackson gets hurt in the middle. Now, they're saying Jackson has a sprained ankle. There's no fucking way Jackson has a sprained ankle, okay? He's got a much more serious injury than that. Everybody who's sprained their ankle, you limp around on it a little bit. You don't get golf carted off and can't come back in. If he had a sprained ankle, he'd have came back in. So I don't buy it's a sprained ankle. And I hope he plays this week because they're going to get killed if he plays. Cleveland looks good. They got the win. Again, backs against the wall. Cleveland, they had to win. They win. Baltimore, a live dog. The game was even, and but it was an under because Baltimore just doesn't score. And I knew Cleveland was going to run Chubb. So, if you get a Army Navy type game where they're going to run the ball, it's an under because they're going to eat the clock. Atlanta, Carolina. Again, I had Atlanta here as a live dog. Atlanta was 6-2 against Carolina. They're a live dog. How the hell can Cam Newton be favored over anybody? There's no way Carolina should have been favored in this game. And Atlanta wins 29-21, getting a very easy win. Looking at it like that, and Atlanta owns the series 6-2. Dallas, Washington. Now here, Washington had won the last two, which means Dallas had won the previous ones. It was about what should have happened. I never played the game, although my play would have been Washington plus the 10, and then went to 6.5. Then it goes to 12, so you go 12.5. Over under 48. I liked it over 48, which was a winner. Again, Washington's a weak defense. Dallas lit them up. Washington came back a little. Heineke gets hurt. So basically, this was Washington had won the last two, so I knew it'd be close. Backs against the wall. Washington needed it more than Dallas did. Seattle, Houston. You got Davis Mills. That's all you needed to say. Seattle. I wondered why the line was jumping. As soon as you see the line jump, you got to understand and go, why? You always are going to ask why. If you always do that in life, you are smarter than anybody else, because people just see things happen, but they don't ask why they happen. Once you understand why they happen, then you got it. So as soon as Mills is going to quarter, then it's an easy Seattle. Houston with a weak defense. Finally, Russell Wilson looked like Russell Wilson. Lane 2.5. Another winner. Detroit, Denver. I had at 7.5. I took Denver. So it was an easy winner, 38-10. I knew the running back was out, Swift, but then Hockenson goes out. Well, I don't know why that would make the line go from 7 to 12. I thought that line was way too high, but Denver just destroyed them. Detroit kind of got their win against Minnesota and was very flat. It's amazing. This is how bad a coach Detroit is. Detroit at home can play Minnesota tough, and they go to Denver and they're not even in the game. So again, it was Detroit with the weak defense, Denver the strong defense. I basically bet Denver because of the defense, and they were at home and backs against the wall. And but I got them at 7.5. I didn't want to play him 12 or 12.5 or 13. San Diego ended, I think. I had them at 11. I had 17. I think it went down to 9 or 10. Jake Fromm was supposed to start, and he doesn't. Glennon plays. If Glennon plays, I never play the game. However, I get a break because the Giants score with a minute left to lose 37-21. They lose by 16. I'm getting 17. So I had so many points. San Diego, of course, it's the NFL, lets up. The Giants score at the end. They scored 2 touchdowns in the last 5 minutes. And but again, I was betting Jake Fromm, and when he wasn't quarterbacking, I would have gotten out of it, but I'd already bet it. And I get the win, so I made the perfect week. The Giants are a strong, strong road dog, and San Diego is a terrible home favorite. And here you go. So the trend kind of worked there. But again, it was based on Jake Fromm, and I couldn't believe they didn't play him, and I couldn't believe when they were getting killed, they didn't put him in. Like, what's this coach thinking? I don't get this negative Jake Fromm stuff, so I don't know. Tampa Bay, Buffalo. This was one I thought Tampa was a 7-point favorite, and they were beating them up pretty bad by 17. I had Tampa +3, so I was really never worried. Even when they went to overtime, I said, well, fine, I'll lose by 3. And over under 53, I liked it over. It went to, 60. Tom Brady's Tom Brady. You got to bet Tom Brady. I had him pretty good. I wasn't afraid of Buffalo, and really until the end, all of a sudden Tampa couldn't move, get a few first downs and put the game away. So I was a little surprised there. But again, Buffalo, Josh Allen, what did they do? They blitzed him the first 3 quarters, and he was useless. In the fourth quarter, for some reason, they stopped blitzing him, and then I hate that Josh Allen runs. Oh my God, he's terrible. I didn't realize he was this bad. How often does Tom Brady? Well, Tom Brady ran a little bit, but you don't want him like Josh Allen actually has design run plays. Okay, he's not a running back, and he hurt his ankle, and this is the problem when you have a quarterback that runs. Lamar Jackson hurts his ankle, not even running, just going back to pass. Allen hurts it running. What the hell are you doing running your quarterback? You can't replace him. There's no way he's healthy. He's got a bad ankle, probably a high ankle sprain. He's in a walking boot. So don't tell me he's fine. There's no way Josh Allen's fine. Don't believe that. That's just for the other team. Oh, he's fine. Don't worry. Believe me, he ain't fine in a walking boot. I'll be surprised if he plays. If he plays and he runs way too much. This is why Buffalo's not going to win with him. They make freaking running plays with the guy. You got to be. This is why you got running backs. If I'm the running back, I'm just sitting there going, "Screw you guys. I'm not even going to try." I mean, that's just pathetic. Brady shows you who's boss and has him big, and then throws a touchdown in overtime. They win by 6. Oh, you can't cross 0, huh? Oh, really? Okay, I had -3 to +3 because it should have been -7 to -1. So I get +3, and I was never worried. And again, if the game makes sense and the bet makes sense, then why not do it? I mean, it's like doubling down on 11. Why would you not double down on 11 or double down on even a 10 if the dealer has a 6 or a 7 up? I can see if the dealer's got a 10, I don't double a 10. But that's about what you're saying here is don't double down on a 10 when the dealer's got 6 because you're crossing 0. I mean, it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. If the bet's good, the bet's good. Hey, Todd, Jackson is out against my Packers. Jackson. Oh, yeah, I figured he would be. He's got a serious ankle injury. Taking the under, yes, you are probably correct about ankle injury. Oh, there's no way. You don't get carted off if it's a sprained ankle. Are you kidding me? Same thing with Allen. Josh Allen is turning into another Cam Newton. He won't well, that's my point. I didn't realize he ran as much as he did. No wonder they've got 6 losses and they lose against all the good teams. He's good against the Jets in Miami, and that's about it. After that, he lost to Jacksonville. This guy, what is going on with these idiot coaches running their quarterbacks? Not that he can handle a blitz, which I know he can't, but now you've gotten rid of Jake Fromm. Who are you going to turn to? Absolutely ridiculous coaching. But, these quarterbacks that run are just – it's the stupidest thing in the world because they get hurt. Now what do? And you put $20 million into the quarterbacks, your backup sucks. It's like Mills. Mills sucked at Stanford for Houston now. What are you going to do with him? And then somebody's going to pick him up. Why? Because he played in the league? He was like Blake Gabbert. He sucked at Missouri, and that was it. Green Bay, Chicago, had Green Bay in this one, 11.5. I had it at 12 or 12.5. I was laying under 7. They get down, and I go, well, they were down 27-21. I go, well, 28-35. Okay, it's a W. And they got up to 45-30. That one little fast guy on Chicago is all they got. He's their talent. They should put him at running back or put him at quarterback and let him run around. Nobody can apparently touch him. That was a beautiful game for Green Bay at home in a must-win. They're playing for 1 seed. Tampa's playing for 1 seed. See, when Brady and Rodgers play for 1 seed, you bet them because they're going to win because they know how to win. When you got Josh Allen playing for a playoff spot, you can't bet him because he's not a winner. And then the last one I had is the Rams as a road dog. They had won the last 4 in Arizona. Arizona, as I've told you, is a terrible home team for whatever reason. And there you go. The Rams won 30-23. I don't know how I had it. I either had the Rams in 8.5 or I had under 57. Either way, they both won. And that happens a lot. That's going to happen this week. I've got where I look at one end. A lot of times in college, I'm seeing that with like the Miami Hurricanes or Georgia or Clemson, where I like the game under and then I like them also. So that's every game. I won every game. I didn't bet. I was 13-0. Again, multiple teasers on Tampa Bay, on Tennessee, on Baltimore under, on Cincinnati. And then one I had Pitt KC as my early teaser. So it went extremely well. It's exactly but this is the way the week's set up, and I'm very happy for what's his name? My friend. What's his name? I'm trying to think. I don't know. Josh Allen was wearing a walking boot in the press conference. Well, exactly. If he plays, the problem is they're playing Carolina. And okay, now who's their backup this week? I have no idea, because it would have been Jake Fromm, and now we could have seen what Jake Fromm could actually do. The Giants would rather have played Mike Glennon than Jake Fromm. Are you out of your fucking minds? I don't buy that. But yeah, I mean, so that's what we have. So now what do we do? So now this week we hope for these type of matchups. So again, we're looking who's the number, who's playing for 1 seed, both conferences, who's got their backs against the wall. They're like, they need the game to get into the wild card, to get into the playoff, to get into like the Rams against Arizona was like Alabama, Georgia. The Rams had to win because they're fighting for the division, to win the division, where Arizona was the number 1 seed. So they didn't need to win. Now Green Bay, I think, beat them. So I think they're the number 1. But now Arizona will turn it on. And, so you'll see a difference. Again, the teams know when they have to win and when they don't have to win. And that's the key. When you got them that they have to win, that's what you want. Now emotionally they're ready. And so I made a list this week. Let's see. So who's playing for the number 1 seed? New England, Tennessee, Kansas City, Dallas, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, and Arizona. So basically all the teams that are winning their division must win just to go for the 1 seed and the bye. So it's very important they get it. The teams at the back against the wall are Buffalo, Miami, Pitt, Indy, Denver, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Washington, Philadelphia, Minnesota, Atlanta. And I don't like Atlanta, New Orleans. I don't care that their backs against. I mean, they got 5 fucking wins and they're going for a playoff spot. And the best one I saw was the Lions at 1-10-1 just got eliminated last week. At 1-10-1, they were just eliminated. They weren't eliminated 5 weeks ago. Unbelievable. So what are we looking for? So if we take a superficial look, and again, we don't know injuries at this point. We know Jackson's out, and we know what Josh Allen is. Figure he's out. And again, who's their backup? So we got KC, San Diego. KC's fighting for the 1 seed. San Diego's fighting for the division. So this is basically a playoff game, and San Diego plays them pretty good. The last 7 as the dog, San Diego is the play in this. And I've seen some 4.5. You get 10.5. I like San Diego here, depending on injuries. I don't know. I think Herbert's fine. Is Keenan Allen back, but he didn't miss Keenan Allen against the Giants, so we'll see. So right now, that's a dog play. So my first look at is, let me see the game. Who do I like? We're going to walk through this. This is a master's class. Oakland, Cleveland. I like Cleveland in the game. Just looking at it, I figure Cleveland by about 6. That's what the line is. Cleveland must win. Oakland needs the game because mathematically, but they're so bad. I think Cleveland, they just beat Baltimore. I don't think at home, but they're not a good home team. They're not a good home favorite. The Raiders have the trend technically. Cleveland has got a better defense, and Oakland's defense stinks. So I think Mayfield wins the game, and you're laying 6. New England, Indy, I love the dog in this game. I thought New England would be a 3-point favorite. I'm ready to take Indy as a home dog. Indy's the favorite. I love when I pick the favorite and they're the dog. That, to me, that's why I pick my own lines. So blindly, I go it's a dog, and then I go New England -3, and I got Indy now 2.5. Thank you very much. How the hell are they going to beat New England by 9? It ain't going to happen. Both have strong defenses. Both trends they're very good trend wise. Indy at home, New England as a dog. Over under 45.5, probably an under. I don't see they're going to run Taylor. New England's defense is going to stop them. It's a good underplay, and it's an A against the B, and New England's the A getting points. That I love it. Washington, Philly, tease the dog. Both teams need the game. My spread, Philly -3, Philly's -5 because of Heineke, the quarterback. Let's keep an eye on him if he plays or not. Again, Hurts, is he playing? I don't know. Why didn't he play? You had Gardner Minshew play, and I don't mind him. I mean, that's an upgrade, I think. Again, these running quarterbacks, I really don't like it. I can't ever see a time when a running quarterback won. My friend he went to BYU, wanted a Steve Young figure I have. I have those starting lineups, and I have a Steve Young, Jerry Rice, and he went to BYU. He wants the Steve Young. And he's really the only running quarterback who won a Super Bowl, but he wasn't a running quarterback when he won it. He was a running quarterback at Tampa and in the early on in the Niners, but then when he won the Super Bowl, he didn't run at all. You cannot run and win a playoff. It doesn't happen because the defenses are too strong. You've got to be able to throw on them, and you've got to be able to be balanced. So in other words, what is balance? Balance means I can run it. I got Emmitt Smith and I got Michael Irvin. I got Joe Montana and I got my receivers. I got Jerry Rice. Who are you going to cover? You're going to cover my Roger Craig, or you're going to cover Jerry Rice. And once the defense doesn't know, that's when you got them. Well, you got a running quarterback. You got Lamar Jackson. Who am I going to worry about? I'm going to worry about the receivers. You can't throw the ball 30 yards down the field accurate. So, again, I don't love Hurts. Now we'll see who the quarterbacks are. So right now, if both quarterbacks are out, then play the game under, because where are you going to get the points? Philly's got a strong defense. Washington's got an average. They don't have strong or weak. And what I notice in college, there's a bunch of teams that give up more than 30 points. In the pros, there's a couple of 29s and 30s, and then there's a couple of 15, 18, and 19s. The pros are such a bad league right now. When New England and Tampa are Tampa, okay, but New England, when they're the dominant team, there's a problem. Carolina, Buffalo. Okay, I like Buffalo. They must win the game. Josh Allen's out, probably. Who's their backup? Makes this game an under game. Even if Allen plays, he's obviously got a broken ankle or a high ankle sprain. He's got problems. So what's he going to do? The 10.5's too much, especially if the backup comes in, whoever that is. So they have a strong defense. Carolina's got a strong defense in Cam Newton, which means they're not going to score. Buffalo should shut them out. I think under is the play here. I think the spread's too high. Now, if Josh Allen didn't get hurt, I would say take Buffalo. This is a Josh Allen type. He's going to run and score, but I don't see that here because of that. So I see Buffalo not being able to score that much without a quarterback. They don't run that well, and I just see them make this game an under game. But Buffalo needs the game. Now they're out of the playoffs. They have to win. Their backs are against the wall. Keep that in mind. So that's probably why Josh Allen will play. Miami and the Jets. I look at this. I say, take Miami. The Jets are horrible, but play the game under. My spread, Miami -4. Somehow they're 8.5. Miami has a strong defense, which they didn't before. The Jets have a weak defense, but Miami can't really take advantage of it. The Jets, I don't see scoring a lot in the game. Miami doesn't score anyway. So I can't take Miami -2.5 with Tagliabue. So I think 42, you go under 48, I think is the play, because the Jets just don't score. Although once in a while, this is the problem. Once in a while, they beat Tennessee, they beat Cincinnati, and then they get killed. Like last week, they got killed by New Orleans, beats them 30-9. So, I mean, against a decent defense, which Miami looks like they have, I don't see the Jets. Therefore, I like the game under. Dallas and the Giants. Dallas an 18. The Giants are a W. And if they got that same quarterback, what's his name? Jones is bad enough, but when you're not starting Jake Fromm, you're starting the other guy. What the hell's going on? Now, Dallas is in a must-win because they want to play for the 1 seed. They're playing well. They bring their defense. Dallas has won the last 8 in the series. Strong defense. The Giants, who's their quarterback? I think Jones is probably out. Here's where I like Dallas. Now, here's where I argue with people, well, I don't know, I can't do it. That's bullshit. Here's a perfect example. I'm going to give you Dallas by 21 here. So you're not going to lay 4.5. Now, the difference is if it's 7, I might lock Dallas. 4.5, I can't lock them, but I'm going to play them, and I'll probably play them strong. I don't care about 4.5. They're going to win by 3 touchdowns. That's the point you got to look at, and that's why if you don't predict your own scores and you don't put your own lines in, you can't bet because you got to know what you're doing. Dallas minus 10. I have no problem laying 4.5. I have no problem going up to 6.5. So it goes to 12.5. Love Dallas. I must-win game, and they've won the last 8 against the Giants, and quarterback's probably out, Jones, who I'm not scared of anyway. He's not really that good. But he did go to the Peyton Manning camp, so that makes him a starter. So did Josh Allen. So apparently if you go to the Peyton Manning camp, you automatically start in the NFL. Green Bay, I don't know if they're still 4.5. You're telling me Lamar Jackson's out. Both teams have strong defenses. The trend before this was Green Bay on the road. Initially, I liked the dog if Jackson was playing. Without Jackson, you got the kid from UCLA who's, I think he played on Green Bay his first year or two, and he was nothing. Aaron Rodgers, now Green Bay now has, I think they're playing for the 1 seed, or they might have it already because they beat Arizona, but I don't remember if they played Tampa yet. So they need the game because they know Tampa's right there. So look for Green Bay. Baltimore, they need the game. They're winning their division, but their back's not against the wall because they have the lead. So they're psychologically, they're in the lead in their division versus we really need the game. We're a game behind. So the teams that are a game behind, Cleveland, Cincinnati, play much stronger than Baltimore is going to play. And especially without Lamar Jackson. So I really like Green Bay here without Lamar. Strong defense. Probably could be an under, but I'm not going to fuck with Aaron Rodgers. He's so hot right now. Take Green Bay. Lay what? You're laying 1 even. Tennessee, Pitt. I looked at this. Tease the dog. Pitt plays well. They had a good comeback. I think they're missing some defensive players. I just don't think they're not that good, Pittsburgh. And the record shows that Tennessee, we'll see if Julio Jones plays. My thought was the dog. I thought Pitt would be a 3-point favorite at home. They're a 2-point dog. I like Pitt. Tennessee's got a strong defense. Pitt doesn't. But again, this is where statistics are misleading because TJ Watt's been out. So, of course, their defense isn't as good. Apologies if I'm freezing out. I can see that. Glennon, yeah. See how good he is. I can't remember his name. But, yeah, thank you, Todd. So you got Pitt. Pitt and 8. I don't love it, but Pitt needs the game. This is do or die for Pitt. Tennessee, again, has the lead over Indy, but Indy's coming strong, but Indy's got New England. So Tennessee needs the game, but there's a big difference between needing the game and backs against the wall. Pitt's backs against the wall. They're going to play their best game. I like the 8. Houston, Jacksonville. This is a Z. I like the dog. However, if Mills is quarterbacking against Lawrence, this has got to be a huge under. If Mills is the quarterback, Jacksonville, weak defense. Houston, weak defense. So you think it would be an over, but neither team's got a quarterback. So I like the under in the game, but I don't see where you're going to score. Lawrence, all he wants to do is run. Mills, terrible. Even though both defenses are weak, you bet against Jacksonville and you bet against Houston. So if Tyrod Taylor's the quarterback, I love Houston, but with Mills against Lawrence, just bet the game under because there's not going to be a loss. Nice spread went up, but they need the game now for the one. They are not the 1 seed anymore. So again, they need the game for the 1 seed. And over under 47.5. The Lions with the weak defense, Arizona with the strong defense. I think Arizona's lost 2 in a row. I don't know. Let me see. Arizona. No, they beat the Bears, and now the Rams beat them. So they're off of a loss, playing the weak Detroit Lions, who got their 1 win. They've been playing better at home. They played Baltimore good, Minnesota good, Green Bay. Well, no, I think Green Bay killed them. But I just think Arizona rolls. But this is, again, a spread that's too high. I'd score 14 points, and Arizona's going to put up 40. I'm sorry if I'm freezing. I notice I'm just frozen on the screen. Once in a while I get moving. Bad internet. But, Arizona, you can't lay 7.5 at Detroit, but they should score a lot on a weak Detroit defense. So take the game over, but you got to play it small. You can't lay the third. See, there's a point where the spread dictates you can't play it, and that's where the spread is. So they made the spread so high they don't want you to play Arizona. Atlanta, Frisco. I looked at it, teased the dog. Atlanta still in the chase. Frisco, I don't think's all that good. Defense. Atlanta's with the weak defense. Frisco, they are what they are. The trend here is Atlanta is a good dog in contention for a playoff, even though they've won 5 games. That's how bad it is. I mean, when you're in contention at 5-7, there's a problem. Let's see. Cincinnati, Denver. My initial thought is take the dog in this game. Both teams need it. Both teams are very equal. I love Burrow. Here I had Denver -4. Denver's -1.5. I thought that'd be a little bit big. A strong defense. Cincinnati's good defense, not strong. But I think there's points. 37.5 I think is a little bit low. I like the game over, and I like Cincinnati as the dog as long as it's over 7. Seattle and the Rams. Nick, that's your question. Having trouble figuring out Seattle and the Rams. Rams need the game, but Russell Wilson as a road dog is always the play, especially when getting 13-14. Him and Coach P will play strong against McVay. Absolutely. It's a lot of points to give, and especially right after they beat Arizona. The Rams are not a great home favorite. Seattle, as Nick said, is a good road dog. Nick, if you can't figure it out, just move on. You should look at the game without the points and go, I love the dog, I love the favorite. In other words, Arizona, Detroit, I love Arizona. But when you look at New England, Indy, you go, oh, I love the dog. Without the points, Indy, New England, take the dog. Tennessee, Pitt, take the dog. Green Bay, Baltimore, if everybody's healthy, take the dog. Without Lamar Jackson, take Green Bay. So you're looking Houston, Jacksonville, tease the dog. So when you get to Seattle and the Rams, are you teasing the dog or do you like the Rams? And that's what you got to look at before you look at anything. Who do you like? And that's why the first thing you do is look at the game or I like the dog. The way Seattle is playing, yes, I like Seattle. As we know, they're a great road dog. Russell Wilson's playing better. Seattle really still has a chance, but I think they got to win out. I think they got 5 wins, and the Rams now got 9. So I don't know that I got to get used to 17. So I think they can get to 9. You can't trust staff win a game. I was shocked they won yesterday, but again, they won as the dog against a weak Arizona at home team. Here there's a small trend on Seattle. I think the Rams will light them up, and I think play the game's an over. Seattle in 13 is probably pretty good. Either way, I think that Seattle's finally starting to play. New Orleans, Tampa. take Tampa. The spread's a little higher. I thought 10 is 11. New Orleans has a defense, and Kamara's back at home. Big trend for Tampa here. Nothing head to head. And again, he's only been there a few years. I got to revisit my Seattle Ram trend, and I'll tell you about that when we do the pros on Wednesday. So Tampa -5 is a tough number. As you saw, they blew a 17-point lead to Buffalo. But Trevor Siemian, I don't see to be the problem, and they won't. With Tampa, looks like they're pretty healthy defensively. I look for Tampa -5. I won't play it big, but I like Tampa. That's why I love Tampa getting 3. Nobody's better than Tampa, right? So you get 3 points at home, you got to jump on that. Here, laying 5, it's okay, but emotionally, they need it for the 1 seed. So I definitely see Tampa winning the game. It's just by probably double digits. And many Chicago, after watching Chicago Green Bay, my first thought was he's the dog here. I had many -6. They're only laying 3.5. Even when as bad as Fields is, I like the little guy. He'll run a punt back or a kickoff back for a couple touchdowns in the game. Minnesota's just terribly coached. Cousins, he'll throw his interception. He's just terrible. Both teams have weak defenses. Even though you think the Bears have a good defense, Khalil Mack's out. 44 is the over on the game. I think this game goes over easily. Cousins can score, but as you see, Chicago, they'll find a way to put up some points. So I like the game over 44 over 38. That's 21-20, and I easily see that getting there. So again, I like Chicago 9.5, and I like that. Now, Chicago is not in the playoffs. Minnesota back against the wall. They must win. And we saw them last week, must winning against Pitt and barely winning that one. So again, this one I think Chicago is a home dog, and I got to look at that. I thought I looked at that. I must have stopped after the Dallas Giant. I think I got to the end, and I didn't think the teams played each other. So I got to look at the last 3 again. Seattle and the Rams, I think it was Seattle, but let me look at that. Play of the week, Andrew. I don't know. I would say right now, I love New England getting points. I like San Diego Thursday night. Dallas over the Giants if you got Glennon. Green Bay over Baltimore if Jackson's out, because I don't like the UCLA quarterback. Cincinnati against Denver. I like the dog there. I like the game over. And now my college bowls, as Nick can tell you, $100 buys you the whole bowl package from starting this weekend going through the playoffs. So I'm going to give you a way through that $100. It's roughly 3 weeks of games. Very good bargain. Red hot in college. I mean, yeah, I lost the Georgia-Alabama game. Alabama's back was against the wall. My apologies. Outside of that, I've been on fire, hitting everything. And I see many games. Now, one thing that I got to be careful of is, as Nick pointed out to me, the Nevada quarterback Strong is, had some microscopic surgery to his knee. He's fine, but are these idiots going to stop playing in the bowl to get ready for the NFL draft? Like that gets you ready. So in other words, I'll sit out because I don't want to get hurt. So they're a bunch of babies. So players that do that, I would not draft because they're not real players. If you're worried about getting hurt, don't play football. What are you going to do when you get hurt in the NFL? You're going to cry and you're going to quit? So, I mean, you're going to get hurt. It's football. You should support your team, and that's where you don't have passion if you're worried about getting hurt, and that's what I don't like about these guys. So I'm hoping the Nevada quarterback plays, then it's a strong play because Nevada's a dog, but I think they're factoring in him not playing. That's why they're a dog. So when you see a strange line, now I looked, it's funny, I looked in what's my site? Where's my mouse? Come on. Covers.com. Now, I looked at Nevada. I didn't see anything. I saw nothing that said he wasn't playing. I looked on Scores and Odds. I saw nothing of him not playing. And then I typed in Carson Strong, and it said, well, he had the knee, arthroscopic, but he might not play to get ready for the NFL draft. So I had to hunt there to find it. I don't know where Nick found it, but you've got to be careful. I got at least 6, 7 games I could lock, provided everybody plays. Now, I'm not worried about like Army and Air Force. I can't see those guys not playing. Their teammates would kill them if the Army quarterback don't play or the Air Force quarterback doesn't play. I'd be shocked. I wonder if Michigan this year is going to have their whole team sit out like the last years when you could just bet against them in the bowl and everybody would quit. So let's see how many Michigan players get ready for the draft this year now that they're in the playoff. I'm being sarcastic, but it's bullshit. This is when the team needs you, and you're freaking sitting out. That's like, is Brian Kelly, did he already run away to LSU? Is somebody else coaching Notre Dame? Probably. Nick, just wait till we get Georgia in the championship game as a dog. Georgia in the under will be. Yeah, I mean, you're going to see the Georgia team that I saw all year didn't play against Alabama. There was a gentleman's agreement that Alabama would win so they could get in the playoff. And so Georgia laid down. And I didn't see it coming. My fault. I should have saw it coming. I apologize. I didn't lock the game. I don't think so. Maybe I did. I think I played one lock on Georgia under. And my apologies. I still didn't think it would go really high scoring. But Alabama does not have that strong of a defense. So, again, my apologies, but that's not going to happen this time. Georgia should shut down Michigan. I'm debating about going under in the game. It's 43.5, which is a low. What's I've been saying? The over-unders in the Georgia game have been 50. So it's easier to go under 56 with the team that shuts out everybody. Against Michigan, it's a low. It's only 43.5. I'm almost tempted to go over because of Michigan against Wisconsin and Michigan against Iowa. Not against Ohio State, but against Michigan State, they scored a lot. So they play high-scoring games, Michigan. Their defense is okay, and their offense is strong. So I'm not quite sure what to do with that game. I probably won't lock it under for sure, but I don't see Michigan. I'll be shocked if Michigan wins, put it that way. And you all know I'm from Michigan, but I don't bet with my heart. If I did, I couldn't do this. Nick, got into an argument with my friend about Army play calling late in the game this past weekend. Army play calling late in the game. I watched the game. I don't know what are you referring to, Nick? What was their play calling today? I thought they were throwing passes, or what happened? Keep in mind, Army, Navy, they're going to run the ball most of the time, and they play the safeties. So if the safety's up, they're gonna pass the ball. But if they're playing 3 or 4 deep, they're going to run the ball because they're. So let me know what you mean. Let's see. Todd, you got that right, Nick. Army fell into their own foxhole with the play calling. What play calling you do? Did they run more than they should have, or what? The reason Army lost, they didn't run Anderson enough, first of all, and secondly, that fake punt was not supposed to be a fake punt on the 4th and 3 at their own 38. It was a mistake. The Navy center was not supposed to hike it to the guy. But Army was not prepared. Army had, when Navy switched from offense to punt, Army pulled their defense off the field, which they never should have. They should have been looking for a fake punt, and that's why it worked. But I tend to agree that was really the problem, was their defense. So I'm not quite sure what did they do. Did they run too much or what? But I know they didn't score, but they had them 13-7. They should have just kept rolling against Navy. So I'd say the play calling, a lot of the game was bad. I didn't like when they brought in the backup quarterback who couldn't really run the option. He just would hand off, and the guy would run in the middle of the line. I didn't. What are you reading? Basically punted back to Navy on 4th and 4, and instead of going for it, Navy territory, they gave it back to Navy just to burn all their timeouts and have no chance on the final drive of the game. Well, if it was 4th and 4, well, I understand if you have the timeouts and you're going to punt it deep in that type of game. Probably, I don't have a problem with that. The problem is Army doesn't really have the passing game to okay, we get the ball back at midfield, we need a touchdown. I thought maybe their play calling on the final drive hurt them. But I don't have a problem 4th and 4. The game's basically over because Army can't. If Army goes for it and doesn't make it, Navy gets a first down and punts the ball to the 10-yard line. Army's fucked. They can't drive 90 yards in a couple of minutes. So really their thought was, we'll get the ball back at midfield, which I think they did, and then all we got to do is go 50 yards instead of 90 yards because we don't really throw the ball enough. Although I do love Anderson. I thought some of his plays were bad where he should have, thrown, had different pass routes. But I don't have a problem for when you're a team like Army. They should have scored more, and their defense was disappointing to let Navy. Well, Navy was doing fake punts and going for 4th down. They were doing a bunch of trick plays. So you can't really, it's Army Navy. So yeah, Army quarterback was the backup, would run the same play for no gain too. Yeah, I don't know why they went to the backup. Keep Anderson out there. He's the guy that runs for 70 yards. He ran the first down. You should never have taken him out of the game unless he was needed a blow or something. But I agree. Now in the bowls, Army, Navy, well, Navy's not in it, but Army and Air Force are very tough to play in the bowl game unless you played them, because you can't practice against Army and the Air Force and Navy. That type of offense is impossible to practice because you don't have the speed, and like the quarterback knows what he's reading and makes a quick pitch. You can't simulate that in practice. So I look for Army over Missouri, and I think Air Force is a dog. If I look at, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, Air Force is a dog to Louisville. I like Air Force there. And Army's a favorite to Missouri, laying 3.5. And I like Army there. Again, Missouri's not very good, and Army should have a field day, and I don't see how Missouri is going to stop them. I think Army goes up and down the field on Missouri. They're kind of weak. Let's see. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 games that I've got lock circle that I just got to watch the injuries, and one of them is the Nevada game. I love Nevada strong plays. I have Nevada as a 14-point favorite in the game, and they're getting 3.5 because Strong's out. That shows you if he plays, that's going to be a lock. Now, keep in mind, what scared me about the game was it's 11 o'clock in Detroit, but Nevada is in the mountain time, is Vegas, so it's a 3-hour. So they're playing at 8 in the morning. That's what was scaring me away from locking him initially. I didn't know Strong was maybe not playing. is them getting up basically at 8 o'clock. Hello. Oh yeah, that was weird. My screen went black and now it's back. So that's what I was more concerned was it was an 8 o'clock game for Nevada. That will bother me more. Anyway, so that's what I have. So I have a bunch of strong plays, a bunch of live dogs, but I gotta first see who's playing now. The first week basically goes till the 28th, but probably the 25th. So then we'll know if the guys are sitting out. Then the next batch starts the 28th. The 27th of the Navy, and then Houston, Auburn, and Air Force, and all those guys pick it up on the 28th. So I might wait a few more days to see who's sitting out because that's critical. And the guys, Michigan, for the last 4 years, all of a sudden, all the guys would sit out. And this is why Harbaugh's never won there, is because he has guys that don't love football. You should be honored that you're playing for Michigan and you're in a bowl game, not selfish going, I don't want to get hurt. I love how I'm going to get ready for the NFL draft. What the hell is that? So I don't like that at all. I think those aren't football players, right? I mean, I'd go play football for free in the backyard. We would go to the school and I was just playing with my friends. That's somebody who loves football. So when you get these guys that sit out the bowl game because they are afraid to get injured, what the hell is that? Go. And I don't know any of them except Fontenette and the guy in the Tampa is running back. Fontenette. I know, I never can pronounce it. He's the only one and he didn't do good at first. He finally, because he's with Tom Brady, is playing. McCaffrey, Peppers, all these guys that sit out because they don't want to get hurt, do nothing in the pros. I've yet to see a guy sit out and play because they're a bunch of pussies. They don't want to play. I'm going to get hurt. Then don't play. Don't tell me you're getting ready for the draft. What do you got to do to get ready for the draft? The best way to get ready for the draft is to play and show them, look how good I was in the bowl game. Tom Brady got drafted because he threw for 400 yards against Alabama in the Orange Bowl, and they won. That's why Tom Brady got drafted at all, because he didn't do shit at Michigan. He couldn't beat out Drew Henson. I think he had one game against Michigan State where he threw a few touchdowns. Otherwise, I'm a Michigan guy, right? I'm a Michigan fan. Brady there, and when Brady would come out, I think it was like the guy at the Brady Bunch. I'm like, who is this clown? Where's Drew Henson? And you didn't have a clue who Tom Brady was at Michigan, and until he lit up the Orange Bowl and he beat Alabama, then you're going, well, this guy's where's he been for 4 years? So by playing in the bowl game, he got ready for the NFL. What he did wasn't there. I was watching this guy on YouTube, and he's very dangerous because he doesn't know what he's talking about. I think his name's Bill Roof or something, and he's talking about inflation and deflation, and he's saying not to buy gold, to buy Bitcoin. And anybody that tells you that is clueless. Has no idea what they're talking about. Gold is money. Everything else is currency, which is overprinted and has no value. And that's why you buy gold and you buy silver to protect yourself. It's not like a stock. You're not going to buy gold at $50 a share and it goes up to $100 a share. But gold protects you from losing your ass. If you got $60,000 in the bank, you're going to lose. It's going to be worthless. So the only thing you can do is get out of currency, but the only way you can get out of currency is to go into gold and silver. You can't buy euros. You can't buy anything else. So it's just, if anybody is knocking gold, they don't know what they're talking about. And you've got to ignore them and realize they're Keynesians. They don't know what they're talking about. So keep in mind, you'll have people against gold. It's just the government trying to poo-poo it, and but you can't buy Bitcoin because it's not real. I can't go to Target and buy anything with Bitcoin because it's not real. Gold I could, believe me. So just keep that in mind. This guy's name's like Bill Roof or something, and I don't know. He wrote a book, so he's trying to plug it and say, "Look how smart I am." You know, I don't know, but just be careful with these people. So yes, you want to buy gold. Listen to Professor Teaserking. I know that's the best way to go. You can't lose with it. Some of the argument, well, the government can take it away. They can take it away for a little bit, but what did the Nazis do? What did they do? They stole everybody's gold. Well, why? If it has no value. What are the central banks doing? They're buying gold. Why? It has no value. They're not buying Bitcoin. Nobody's buying Bitcoin. They're buying gold because gold's value. It's a protection. Keep that in mind. Gold's not, gold could go to 50,000, but it won't be dollars, because when it does that, the US dollar will be gone, and that's what's going to happen. Bitcoin has no value. Anybody telling you to buy Bitcoin ask them what the value is. There isn't any. So, that's all. People are idiots, and they're trying to talk you away from surviving and keeping out of slavery. So you want to be free, you buy gold and silver. And, Bitcoin's just a scam. It's a pyramid scheme. No offense to people who like Bitcoin. Please go ahead and buy it, but be careful. It's priced in dollars, which are going to zero. It has no value. You can't shop with it. I don't know what it is. Just because you're protected, because you can't do it. The government can just as easily say Bitcoin's banned as they can say gold's banned, and in currency. The government wants to win. They fix the game. That's the problem. And as long as that's the problem, then that's what you know is going on. So I'm trying to teach you what's reality. I wish, like the professor, we could print, switch the gold for copper and or whatever he switched it with. Just a beautiful ending to Money Heist. But just be careful. It's not. You've got to be very careful. You work hard for your money, and please protect it with gold and silver, not Bitcoin. If you've made money in Bitcoin, take it. Just like in football, if we had a big week. Nick had a beautiful week. Just raise your bankroll, raise your bets a little bit. Keep going with it. Keep growing your bankroll. Turn your bankroll into gold and silver. That's boom, boom, boom. You accumulate wealth. That's how you win. So anyway, any other questions, Todd, Nick? Anybody else? Let me know. This is the week 14 review. I will be doing week 15 tomorrow. I like that we did it on Wednesdays. It allowed you to bet the Pitt game on Thursday. This week, I probably like San Diego, depending on injuries, as the dog against Kansas City. They play them very well, and they're okay as a home dog. And they're the last 7 as a dog in the series. So it's a close series. San Diego won the first game, so they're not afraid of Kansas City. These games where they're the home dog in division games, they play each other twice. They're not scared of Mahomes. Ryan, hi, Ryan. I'm going to run for Senate in 28. I will win a landslide. I hope so, Ryan. If you lived in my state, I would vote for you. Why do you want to run for Senate, for God's sake? You know what I read that's really funny is this lady on TikTok gives Microsoft, does a Microsoft show, Excel, and she supposedly makes, and I don't believe that's $100,000 a day just showing how to do Microsoft Excel. And I'm thinking, I'm going to start doing that either with Microsoft, and I know Microsoft Excel well, or when am I starting to make? Should I start charging for this so I can make 100? I don't believe that. I think it's a scam. to get you to go on TikTok and a scam to, try to do things like that. But I don't believe that for a minute. There's no reason to pay her when you can just go on Help and go on YouTube and watch YouTube videos how to do something on Excel. So I don't buy that for a minute. But good luck to you, Ryan, if you run for Senate. What state are you in, Ryan? And be careful. You got to cut inflation off. You got to figure out a way before the country goes to Russia. Wisconsin. Okay, well we need help there with the voting. Make sure the voting's fair, not after the last election. But just have Aaron Rodgers with you, and you'll win for sure. Good luck. I assume, are you conservative or are you liberal, or are you? If I ran, I would run for freedom. I wouldn't run for a party. I would just be the freedom guy. Keep everybody from being slaves. So I hope you're conservative. Well, I hope you're for freedom, and not for this crazy that Trump won. I know he won Michigan and he won Arizona and he won every other state, and all the fake voting was ridiculous. Oh yeah, 100,000 dead people wrote. There you go, Ryan. Call it the Freedom Party. You'll win for sure. Conservatives can be liberal, can be Republican or Democrat. You think you're voting for a Republican and he's a liberal. That's what I call myself before you said it. How funny. Well, that's what I've always thought. It's either freedom or we're slaves. And right now they're turning us into slaves by stealing our money. And when you steal our money with inflation, and that's what it is, it's a big tax, we're all slaves. And this is why I promote gold and silver, is because the only way to not be a slave right now is to own gold and silver, and then you can protect yourself. Otherwise, you're screwed owning money because it's going to go to zero. Bitcoin they won't allow it. So why would you own Bitcoin? And then it has no value. You can't go to the store. I can't buy a car with Bitcoin. I can buy a car with gold. I can always turn gold back into whatever currency they come up with. So I won't be a slave because I own gold. So I need to buy more gold. I don't have enough, but I'm buying as much as I can, as much silver. I've even found my Highland Mint coins, my Emmett Smiths and my Barry Sanders, which I bought for like $10 in the 90s just because of they were Barry Sanders and Emmett. And now they're an ounce of silver. They're all worth $50. And silver is going to go up to $200-300 an ounce. They're totally out of it. They can't find it. Buy silver just because it's short, and keep in mind it's price fixed. And this is my biggest pet peeve right now, is when people go on these YouTubes and they talk about, why is the money's being inflated means it's worth less. Why isn't gold and silver going up? And they're trying to explain it. It's because it's fixed. How stupid are these fucking people? It drives me nuts. It's fixed. They keep the price artificially low so the Chinese and the Russians can buy it. So no matter what happens with inflation, that's why they want to keep the price low to buy. And if you look at what the Chinese and the Russians and now the Germans are buying gold, like by tons and tons of it. So that's why that's the reason that the price isn't going up with inflation, is because it's price fixed. They buy the shorts to keep the price down. And here comes the Chinese and the Russians buying it at a cheap price. It's a beautiful thing, but advantage of that, because it's keeping the price low for us. I mean, you spend $1,900 on an ounce of gold, it should be $5,000. So anytime you get it under $5,000, it's a bargain. We have to put these lobbyists in. We got to just get rid of the lobbyists. You got to get rid of the Federal Reserve. You got to get that. That's the key, Ryan. Get rid of the Federal Reserve. They're the biggest thieves out there. They're the biggest reason we have the inflation and we have the cycles, and everything's going to bust because of Evergrande and China and the housing market. That would be the first thing. If I was president, the first thing I'd do is get rid of the Federal Reserve. I'd get rid of all the lobbyists and make it a a limited republic again and use the Constitution, which is not being done. And I'd get rid of all these criminals that are in charge. And no, that would be the first thing I would do, is get rid of the Federal Reserve. That's the biggest problem. My political style is like a Trump, Ross Perot personality. No. Just you be like the professor. Professor is the most popular. You need to be like him. You need to be very honest, very open, and you're all about freedom. I'm not sure Trump's about freedom. There's a lot of bad that happened with Trump, and I'm not a big Ross Perot fan. You want to be more about freedom and obviously lowering inflation and getting rid of the Federal Reserve to free us is the biggest thing you need to run on. Trump, he burnt a lot of people the wrong way, and the only reason he got votes is that everybody was scared of Biden, but he didn't really get the votes because everybody loved him. And he turned me off at the show when he said, "You're fired." I didn't like the guy from there, so I'm not sure Trump's the answer. And I really didn't like Ross Perot. Don't be like those guys. Be like the professor. Be very smart. Be for freedom and get rid of the Federal Reserve. But you can't say it, but you got to do it. And all the banks are those are the problem. They're the thieves. Federal Reserve prints the money and they all buy stock, and it's all illegal because it's all insider trading. And we're the ones who get shit on. So you got to fix the money, fixes the country, and get rid of half these programs. Get rid of Social Security. It's poison. It's terrible. All you got to do is write everybody a check. Just give them a flat fee. Say, okay, everybody, Social Security, here's 50 grand, here's 100 grand. The program's over. 0.65 out of my paycheck, and my employer matches it. So that's 15% that I could be making more that I got to pay in Social Security that I'll never get back. It's not in my account. What the hell is that? So get rid of Social Security. Just say, here's 100 grand. Boom, boom, boom. You're just going to print it anyway. Give everybody their money and say, the system's closed. Here you go. You got 100 grand. Get rid of that. Get rid of the Medicare and all this government socialism. That's the only key to survival. Otherwise, we're turning into Russia, and we all know what happens in Russia. The mafia runs everything. Most of the people, I got some girlfriends in Russia. They work 12-hour days for, like, they make $600 in U.S. a month. I don't know how they live there. It breaks my heart, and a lot of beautiful girls there, but there's no jobs. They're waitresses or they're, hostess at restaurants or at a bar. And it's terrible. And, again, there's no real finance jobs, IT jobs, a little bit. So that's the key, because we're turning into Russia, and I've been there, and it's not what you want to turn into. I'm honest and pro-freedom 100%. I'm just saying I'm aggressive like those guys. And just like I said, be with your heart, mean it. If you watch Money Heist, there was a show, near the end, they had killed the 6 guys when Tokyo killed the 6 guys, and Tokyo died, which broke my heart, and I didn't understand why they killed her. I thought that was a terrible choice. But when you get that, what did they do? Lisbon came on the air, and she said, "We're sorry, these people died, da, 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 da." And then Angel goes to Tamayo, and he goes, the difference, like, you wanted to use it, but the difference is she meant it. And you could tell she was meaning it. That's how you got to come across. You got to come across like Lisbon. You got to come across like the professor. Why do you think it's the most popular show? Because everybody loved the professor, because even though he was the crook, you rooted for him because he was smarter than everybody else. And that's how you got to come across, Ryan. You come across like the professor, you'll win in a landslide. Not a problem. And then, just take all the gold from Spain and bring it here, and we'll be fine. The other thing is make sure we have gold, because I don't think we have any gold. I think it's all gone, probably stolen or given away. 9/11 was a gold robbery, by the way. It was not a terrorist attack. It was about a $3 billion gold robbery under the Twin Towers. Was some Federal Reserve gold, which happens to be gone. So you might want to look into that if you get there. But that was a gold robbery. So I doubt we have any gold, which is the first priority, is to get gold back. So that's what I would do, Ryan. But be honest, come across honest, and don't let the liberals get to you, because they're just backstabbing idiots. Yeah, 9/11 is the gold heist, period. And when I tell people, they look at me and I go, I don't think planes. I watched something on Lear, Lear jets. So the pilot Lear, he was on a YouTube thing, and he says it's impossible for a plane to have hit the Twin Towers. He says you can't fly in that small of an area and go that fast and hit the Twin Towers. It was a demolition job. And also, what happened to all the F-18s? Where were they while this was going on? Clearly an inside job. I think the Israelis had something to do with it. And also, the guy who owned the Twin Towers took out a big terrorist policy a week before, and all the people in the offices where it got burned were on vacation that day. None of them appeared at work. How strange that you would not go to work the day of the day the building collapsed. And if you look at it, it was all charges that collapsed, not from the plane and the bullshit. Oh, it was the engine fire got. If the plane hit the building, it wouldn't go through it. It would hit and drop, and that there was no tail or anything there. Yeah, I did. Well, I checked out a few videos on YouTube. That's where I get all my information. That's why I don't believe this TikTok person. What's the video? Is there a different video I need to look at? I already looked at a lot of 9/11 videos, but the one from Lair was really good. Anyway, good luck to you, Ryan. I'll help you out if I can, but it's called New Pearl Harbor 9/11. It's that's good. Pearl Harbor was another inside job. We knew they were coming, and we let them hit us so we would get into the war. So there's a lot of bullshit that goes around, but absolutely we knew the Japanese were coming, and we let it happen, which is freaking insane to have to get into the war by letting that happen. And that's why Hitler declared war on us. He thought the Japanese can invade Pearl Harbor so easily, we have no defenses. So it got Germany to declare war on us, which maybe we wanted. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, I'm going to go. Time for swim. www.teaserking.com. Again, $100 special for all the bowl games. It's already on the site. Just buy it. You get the full thing all the way through. FDR allowed and new. Yeah, I know that exactly. So the bowls, $100. You get all the bowls through the playoffs, all the way through the Georgia-Alabama game. And this time Georgia shows up. Week 15, we'll see some good games. I got to just verify the injuries and everything else. Good luck to you, Ryan. You sound like a good guy. Freedom is the key, but money is the key to freedom. So remember that. Get rid of the Federal Reserve. Kill the taxes. The taxes are a joke. There's no such thing as income. If I work for you, you're just paying me to do the work. It's not income. It's free trade because I'm doing a service for you. You too, Ryan. I'll be back tomorrow with the pros, and then probably Saturday getting ready for college and everything. All right, everybody, have a good day. www.teaserking.com. Again, $100 for all the bowl games through the playoffs, all the locks, everything else. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching.